For over a century, Catholic Americans have shaped the political landscape of the United States, breaking barriers, championing the downtrodden, and leaving lasting legacies. From the first Catholic president to groundbreaking Supreme Court justices, their faith and leadership have influenced the nation's history in profound ways. In this video, we're counting down the top 8 most important Catholic American political figures of the last 100 years. If you think we missed anyone, leave it in the comments. Now let's take a look. Number 8. William F. Buckley Jr. While Buckley's name has become synonymous with conservative politics, he's not always remembered as the strong Catholic that he was. Growing up, Buckley was deeply immersed in Catholicism, influenced by his devout parents and the Catholic education he received from the Jesuits at St. John's Beaumont, a private school in England. There, he attended daily Mass and began each essay by writing "For the greater glory of God" at the top of the page. At first glance, Buckley often appeared to be a waspish New England patrician. In reality, he was deeply Catholic, faithfully praying the rosary every day from the age of 13 until his death. Buckley would go on to join the U.S. Army, attend Yale, and work for the CIA. He's most known for founding the National Review magazine and hosting the hit show Firing Line, which aired more than 1,400 episodes. Number 7. Sargent Shriver. While not as well known as other Catholic political figures, Shriver was a very influential diplomat, activist, and politician. He is best remembered as the inaugural director of the Peace Corps, where he played a pivotal role in shaping the organization's mission and operations. Shriver was also instrumental in the war on poverty, architecting key programs like Head Start, Vista, and Job Corps. Politically, he was the Democratic vice presidential candidate in 1972 and was considered for the presidential nomination on multiple occasions. Shriver was connected to the Kennedy family through his marriage to Eunice Kennedy, contributing to family initiatives, notably the founding of the Special Olympics by his wife. Shriver was the godson of Cardinal James Gibbons, the second American Catholic cardinal. Shriver was a daily communicant, never without his rosary beads. When vacationing on Cape Cod, he'd attend daily Mass with his wife, always in the second or third row at Our Lady of Victory Church in Centerville. Number 6. Tip O'Neill. O'Neill was a key figure in U.S. politics, most notably as the Speaker of the House from 1977 to 1987, one of the longest tenures in American history. He was a staunch Democrat known for his liberal stance and for coining the phrase, "all politics is local," highlighting the significance of local engagement in politics. His tenure is remembered for his skillful navigation of legislative battles, particularly with Republican presidents, and his commitment to social welfare programs. O'Neill was born into a working-class, Irish Catholic family in North Cambridge, Massachusetts. He attended St. John High School in Cambridge, and he was a lifelong parishioner at the school's affiliated parish church, St. John the Evangelist Church. From there, he went to Boston College, from which he graduated in 1936. In 1980, O'Neill received the Litaire Medal from the University of Notre Dame for recognition of outstanding service to the Catholic Church and society. His biographer notes that O'Neill's political sensibility was deeply rooted in his Catholic upbringing, where he was taught principles that aligned with his advocacy for the working class. Number 5. Al Smith. Most are familiar with Smith as the first Roman Catholic to be nominated for President of the United States by a major party. His 1928 presidential candidacy mobilized both Catholic and anti-Catholic voters. Many Protestants feared his candidacy, believing that the Pope in Rome would dictate his policies. He ended up losing the election to Republican Herbert Hoover. As a boy, Smith attended St. James Parochial School before dropping out to earn money for his family. Prior to dropping out, he served as an altar boy and was strongly influenced by the Catholic priests he worked with. Despite losing the presidential race, Smith's candidacy began to break down barriers for Catholics in American politics, His run is often seen as paving the way for future Catholic candidates. Today, the Al Smith Dinner is put on as a high-profile event to honor the first Catholic presidential candidate and to raise money for Catholic charities. Number 4. Joseph McCarthy. McCarthy, a U.S. Senator from Wisconsin, is best remembered for his role in the era known as McCarthyism during the early 1950s. McCarthy gained notoriety for his vigorous pursuit of alleged communists within the American government and other sectors, which led to widespread hearings, accusations, and blacklisting. McCarthy was born into an Irish Catholic family. His parents, Timothy and Bridget McCarthy, were devout Catholics, attending St. Mary's Church in Appleton, Wisconsin. McCarthy attended Catholic institutions for his education. He went to Marquette University, a Jesuit institution in Milwaukee, where he earned his law degree in 1935. McCarthy received support from some high-ranking Catholic clergy, like Cardinal Francis Joseph Spellman of New York, who was known for his anti-communist stance. Despite his support from some Catholic quarters, McCarthy faced criticism from other Catholic voices. The journal ONeal and figures like Bishop Bernard Shiel of Chicago openly criticized McCarthy's methods, arguing that they were un-Christian and unjust. Number 3. Antonin Scalia. Scalia was an American jurist who served as an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States from 1986 until his death in 2016. He was known for his conservative legal philosophy, particularly his advocacy for originalism and textualism. Scalia authored many significant opinions, including his dissent in Roe v. Wade, his majority opinion in District of Columbia v. Heller, affirming an individual's right to bear arms, and his concurring opinion in Bush v. Gore, which effectively decided the 2000 presidential election. In his youth, Scalia obtained an academic scholarship to Xavier High School, a Jesuit military school in Manhattan. One classmate said, "This kid was a conservative when he was 17 years old, an arch-conservative Catholic. He could have been a member of the Curia." Scalia attended Mass regularly, even when traveling or during the Supreme Court's terms. He also frequently made appearances at events like the annual Red Mass in Washington, D.C. Justice Scalia's funeral took place at the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception. The funeral mass was conducted by his son, Father Paul Scalia, who delivered the homily. Number 2. Robert F. Kennedy. Kennedy is most known for serving as the United States Attorney General from 1961 to 1964 under his brother, President John F. Kennedy. He was a strong advocate for civil rights, playing a key role in advancing the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Kennedy was a prominent figure in the Democratic Party and ran for president in 1968. His life was tragically cut short when he was assassinated shortly after winning the California presidential primary. At his household, Kennedy and his family prayed before meals and bed and had every bedroom of his children outfitted with a Bible, a statue of St. Mary, a crucifix, and holy water. In their visit to the Vatican in 1962, Pope John XXIII gave Robert and Ethel medals of his pontificate and rosaries for themselves and each of their 7 children. Historian Evan Thomas calls Kennedy a romantic Catholic who believed that it was possible to create the kingdom of heaven on earth. Number 1. John F. Kennedy. Serving as the 35th president, he was the first Catholic to hold the office. He was instrumental in the establishment of the Peace Corps, played a significant role during the Cuban Missile Crisis, and initiated the Apollo program, which aimed to land Americans on the moon. Kennedy was assassinated while riding in a motorcade in Dallas. Born into an Irish Catholic family, Kennedy grew up attending St. Aidan's Catholic Church in Brookline, Massachusetts. He was later married at St. Mary's Catholic Church in Newport, Rhode Island. When Kennedy ran for president, his Catholicism was a major issue because he was the first Catholic to seek the office since Al Smith's unsuccessful run in 1928. Kennedy responded to those who were critical of his Catholic faith by saying, "What church I go to on Sunday, what dogma of the Catholic Church I believe in, is my business. And whatever faith any other American has is his business.